Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Krashy, and today we're going to dive into my updated deck list and kind of plans for yellow Victor, Victor leader heading into set 3. So if you did watch a while back the mono yellow Victor, I've made some iterations. I never really updated the channel on it, but essentially, long story short, for the remainder of set 2, I have been playing it with a 9 and 3 split to fit the 2 watchers in. Long story short, Current of Raws is just not really that good, and in my testing, I really only need to play Watcher like 1, maybe 2 times, and sometimes even an unaccelerated version of it is fine. So going with like the 9 and 3 rune split with 3 being the mind is perfectly fine. Now, I've been playing this list nonstop, basically all through the rest of set 2 with kind of like the previous version of it, and the set 3 version gets way better, and I'd love to explain why. Still experimenting with the sideboard, we'll get to those pieces, but more or less this deck list is pretty functionally the same. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we have Victor, which of course you tap your legend, pay 1, and you will spawn a recruit token. We're on the 9-3 order mind split, and then our 3 battlefields, with the third one being a little bit up in the air, is going to be Trifarian War Camp, Vile Maul's Lair. Those 2 are staples in Victor. And then right now I'm running Duskro's Lab, which has some decent synergy in the deck list, with the yellow LeBlanc, with the Shadow's Call, and just with like killing a token for a draw. But I'm not sure I'm actually going to run this one because it may be more beneficial for some of the other decks out there, or just like beneficial enough that I don't necessarily want it. There's some other deck lists or some other battlefields I'm looking at. Arena's Greatest is good in this slot. That's what I'm running in set 2 currently. And even something like the Frozen Wasteland or Forbidden Wasteland, something like that, to lower a single unit's might is not terrible. So we're still messing around with that third deck slot, or that third battlefield slot, and yeah, we'll see. So we do have the one of Victor leader, the yellow leader. I have the arcane artwork. It's super nice. 3 Seal of Unities, and then going into some of the spells in the deck, we're going to be cutting the count down from 3 to 2 on Stupefy, and we're going to be running 2 Rally the Troops. Now, there's, in my opinion, a little bit more space for 2 ofs in a list like this, and where I may actually increase some of these counts is all entirely dependent on how like gear kill and gear hate feels in set 3. Currently I'm running 2 salvage in the main board, which previously was 3, but now that there's more decks that are coming out that are definitely not running like gear or equipment or weapons, it's just hard to say how important having either like a 1 of or a 2 of salvage in the main deck could be. So this list is definitely subject to change, specifically main decking around the salvage. So 2 Stupefy, it's honestly just a great card for drawing. Sometimes it wins you combat, sometimes it's your Legion proc on Vanguard Captain, and then same thing with Rally the Troops. Obviously, Rally the Troops into Vanguard Captain, Rally the Troops into Spectral Matron Vanguard Captain brings out a ton of buffs on top of the units that you're going to be playing, but it draws a card. So these are just great supporting cards to what the deck wants to do. Stupefy, I'm going to be honest, man, it rarely wins me combat, but sometimes it does. A lot of the time it's good for combo pieces and just for drawing through the deck. Now, Shadow's Call, wait, before I touch on Shadow's Call, let me explain. In the previous set 2 iteration of this deck, the biggest issue this deck had was draw. Now with the addition of Shadow's Call, that is very much so not the case. So previously in the set 2 decklist version, I was running a 1 of Lecturing Yordle and a 1 of Consult the Past. I never want those cards. I just needed more cards. So Lecturing Yordle, you know, kind of overcosted for what I was using it for, but it was a body. That's cool. You know, it was a unit, got me a card. And then Consult the Past was a hidden that got me some cards, but never feels good to have, really. Shadow's Call is a 2 energy, and you give a unit temporary and you draw 2 cards. Now, when you're sending your 1 might recruits into a battlefield, they're probably going to die. You don't really care if they die, and so you want to give it temporary because it's probably going to die, but it guarantees you 2 card draws. Now with Duskro's Lab, that's great. You can synergize with that. With Yellow LeBlanc, that's great. You can synergize with that. So, you know, having the potential for the fragmented LeBlanc to have temporary and then draw you an additional card is great. And then again, if you're on the Duskro's Lab, then you can, you know, pitch that card that's going to die anyways and get a draw. Now, staples in kind of yellow decks, or at least this type of yellow deck: 3 Call the Weak, 3 Hidden Blades. You know how that goes. These are your part of your removal package. And then some of our token generation is going to be the same: 3 faithful manufactors, 3 vanguard captains, and then of course we have the 2 of spectral matron for reanimating basically whatever we need. If you look at every unit in the deck other than Spectral Matron and the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, every single thing is able to be brought back by Spectral Matron. So you can bring back the Zhao, you can bring back the Vanguard Captain with Legion, of course. You can bring back the LeBlanc. You can bring back the Faithful Manufactor. You can't bring back Victor Leader, but you would never want to. You would never want to bring him back anyways. So don't worry about that. Now, of course, Zhao, or yeah, let's talk about LeBlanc Fragmented. She is 3 energy, 1 power, 3 might, but she's actually, you know, costed and mighted really well because she does have 1 assault. So effectively a 4 might attacker, and then Death Knell, draw a card. She's a perfect unit for this deck. I kind of want to put a third of her in here, but I think she feels good at 2 because she doesn't, I don't like feel like she's like a key piece to the deck. She's just a great piece of the deck. So definitely something to maybe play with there, because I've even considered maybe like Stupefy goes down for an additional LeBlanc, but I think 2 ofs feel pretty clean in certain scenarios. So that's kind of where I have it at the moment. But she's a great unit. Like I said, there's some Shadow's Call synergy there. There's some Deskro's Lab synergy there. It's great. She's great. Zhao is our speed. You gotta have speed. He, you know, 3 energy, 1 might, or 3 energy, 1 power, 4 might. So very well mighted for the cost. Has tank and then enters readied if you have 2 bodies in the base. This is super easy to accomplish with Viktor. Probably one of the best Viktor cards that's ever been printed. And then kind of keeping with the removal package, because I just think it's super important for backline units. Vengeance, 2 of Vengeance. This card crushes Aurelia. It crushes certain cards that just want to chill and sit back. I think going into a LeBlanc meta, this is going to be good against Karthus. The 2 of Vengeance is going to stay probably for a good long while. Now, our kind of game-winning pieces are the 3 Imperial Decrees and the 1 Grand Stratagem, as well as our Thousand-Tailed Watchers. Most of the time, Imperial Decree stepping in with units is the way you're going to win. Sometimes it's better for Grand Stratagem. That's why we do have 1 in the main board. And then I'm putting 1 in the sideboard because there's certain matchups where it actually feels like that is the actual game-winning potential. And so we're gonna try maybe siding 1 of those in. As far as Thousand-Tailed Watchers, it's a little bit more speed. It's sometimes is the game winner, sometimes it just keeps you in the game. So Thousand-Tailed Watcher, the whole reason we went with the 9-3 blue split, and yeah, it feels pretty good there. So let's look at the sideboard. Sideboard, of course, is probably the thing that changes the most whenever I'm making this deck, because it just evolves with the format. You know, as things kind of rise to the top, we got to make changes to that. So we have the 3rd salvage in there, feels really solid. We have 3 of the yellow Dariuses. Yellow Darius is like, it comes in when I need more like onboard pressure. Specifically pairs really well with Zhao because it has tank. So Zhao is gonna, like, you have to be killed first, at least for an additional might. And it comes in whenever there's like heavy counter spells. So I'm anticipating, depending on how the format shakes up, I may be cutting some of the like game-winning spells and putting in the Dariuses and just trying to kind of brute force get over things. So that way I'm not just getting counterspelled and then losing the game on a huge play. But yeah, Darius, it actually feels good in a deck like this. It can be legioned. It doesn't always get legioned. Sometimes he's just a big body, and big bodies are all that you need. So really important there, especially with no fight or flight. So we do have a 2nd Grand Stratagem in the side. I feel like there's a couple matchups where it just feels like it's the better game winner, and so we may just try siding 1 in. I also just had kind of like a free sideboard slot, so a little bit open there. And then the 3 of Ruinations. Now, the reason why I have the 3 of Ruinations is because one issue this deck is running into is Vile Maw. I don't have a way to deal with Vile Maw unless you can kind of plan a Cull the Week, and that's not super reliable. The problem is that like big units are never really a problem for this deck unless the big unit makes your unit do 0 combat damage. So Vile Maw is a bit of a problem. Thousand-Tailed Watcher in some scenarios can deal with it, but it's not super reliable because they can just kind of pump it up, and that's dangerous. But you, yeah, it can be really challenging. So you have to kind of like hold on to the right pieces, and I'm just messing around with Ruination because I think that it could be just a really solid reset that could help you maybe steal tempo back, even if you just Ruination into a, you know, 1 might token. So still messing around with that, but friends, this is the list for now. This is my absolute favorite way of playing kind of like aggro zoo Viktor, and let's go ahead and dive into maybe even a couple of gameplays today and show you how the deck runs. All right, let's dive into a random game of TCG Arena. I'm going to ask my opponent if he'd like to do a best of 3. Let's see if he's interested. We're going to be playing against Fiora. Sure, nice. Okay, he said he's down. All right, we're going to roll a 5. It's not great. Starting with the Trifarian War Camp. He's going to be going with the Monastery. And we'll see what he rolls. So he rolls a 13. So he's probably going to go first. And, ooh, I feel inclined to keep this hand minus the Shadow's Call. I do need to see a unit. All right, he's... Oh my gosh. Viktor things, dude. All right. So he's going to go first. So we'll go ahead and pass it to him. We'll pull our third energy there. And okay, he doesn't play anything, which is like not ironic enough, not super great for me, but it's okay. I mean, this is, I'm starting the game, but with slightly more mana. So we'll pass it over to him. And the 3 Cold of Weeks is actually crazy. Because I mean, I'm definitely going to use it here. Most likely. And then we'll play Vanguard Captain. So we'll go there. Bop, bop. Call of the week. Should be the case. I don't think he can counterspell anything there. And then we will Vanguard Captain off of that. And that's going to be pretty nice. I can double conquer and then Call of the week again. Yours is a good example of where like salvages in main would be awesome. But yeah, 3 Call of the weeks in the hand is silly. Be nice if I hit a seal. Honestly, you really want to see the seals early, otherwise this deck can feel really scary when you're constantly digging. Okay, he drops the set. I'm killing it, dude. I'm killing it. I'm killing that thing. He's gonna be annoyed. He's gonna be very annoyed. Okay, we'll go here. That should be fine. We'll go here. Should be fine. And we're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back. And we will probably just make a token. And we're gonna pass. Now if he plays some kind of equipment, some gear, we do have the double salvage, but those are both main deck. We have the third on the side, so seeing those early. Alright, look, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He's gonna get rid of the Call of the week with the sabotage. Yeah, okay, we're gonna put that deck bottom. I don't blame him at all. That's really funny. And he's a play Unsung Hero. Okay, let's see what other units he has. There's the BF sword. I am gonna salvage that, which sucks because I mean he knows it's coming, but like, we gonna never play, you know? What are you gonna do? Never play him? Ah, see, attaching it. I mean, I guess he pays for it essentially with the Fiora. But that feels bad. All right, we're gonna go there on the hold. 4 on the hold. We'll go 5 on the Monastery. We are gonna salvage the BF sword, and that gives us our draw. And then, so I think I'm gonna put Vanguard Captain here. I may pull the recruit back. We're gonna Shadow's Call, give temporary here. 1, 2. And then we're gonna make a token in the base. So he would have to play something to get over the Vanguard Captain, which is totally fine. I don't mind if the Vanguard Captain dies. Mainly just because it's a potential Spectral Matron target, which we don't have at the moment, but we're so far ahead that we could just play some like building the base. You know what I mean? Like if I really have to, I could just establish my base and and kind of like try to step in for a 6-point somewhere, establish my base, and then go for the win. We do have the Watcher in hand as well, Imperial Decree, so if we build a bunch of units. A lot of time playing the Victor Leader card is just whenever it kind of calls for it. So far, that's my favor. Let's see what he does here. Okay, 5-6, okay. Yeah, so he's going to step over that. Okay, he's going to step over that. He does make it mighty. See, I just need to hope that I can reconquer the monastery and then play some units out. Because at 7, I can play for 2 power and get Victor and LeBlanc out. He's doing some XP tracking. And we'll see. We'll see what he does here. But at one point, I mean, I've got nothing but time. Shadow's Call. That's fine. It's unfortunate that's not going to work with the Death Knell trigger, though, because he's just going to be a 3-might when that thing dies. So he gets himself some more cards now, but if it had an equipment on it, that would be different. Set Brawler. Okay. So yeah, the play is definitely going to be to establish base here, and then probably go in. So this dies. Oh, Spectral Matron, that changes things. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna Spectral Matron the Vanguard Captain for sure. Play the Vanguard Captain. And we'll step in here for 6. And then we will, I think we play the LeBlanc. And then we have Imperial Decree, and that will most likely be enough to get us there. Now, he does have Riposte, so if the Imperial Decree doesn't get us there, so the Unsung Hero should die. If the Imperial Decree doesn't get us there, like say he riposted, then see, that's a little dangerous. Because the question here is, do I just play slow and build up to the Watcher play, give myself like a couple turns of passing, establishing, you know, some kind of an advantage where I can. Oh, I timed out. What's going on here? We'll reload. Oops. Oops, okay. There we go. We disconnected on accident. So yeah, we have to see if what I think is going to be the best thing to do there. Because it's playing into Riposte is a little risky. And game 2 against Yora, I would probably side out some of those bigger spells for like Yellow Darius's and just try to win the game that way. Okay, who are we challenging? Matron? Yep. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. It's okay though. All right, he's at 2 points, and I just have to kind of anticipate how much he's gonna gain if I'm just passing, right? Because he's gonna, yeah, he's gonna get that. See, that's what I need this to not go super fast. If it goes super fast, then that's gonna be a bit of a consideration for me, because he's gonna be able to score quite a bit. I might have like a couple turns of passing, get up to 7, and then I have to win. Okay. Does he have Riposte though? Because I have enough to win off Imperial Decree. I mean, I have enough to win off Stratagem too. But if I fail Stratagem, I mean, I think if he has Riposte in hand, he can't pay for Riposte, so I should just win here. 1, 2, 3. That should be game. That should be game. So then we'd step, what, 8 to 6. Eight, 6. Oh, punch first. Wow. Okay. So he goes to 10. 10. So I have to send 12 at it. 12 at it there. And then we go here. All right. Game 2. Game 2. Game 2. All right. Game 2. Like I said, in this scenario, I am probably going to bring the Dariuses in and bring the Imperial Decrees out. Just in case it could get a little hairy. I also wouldn't mind bringing in the third salvage, but I'm not actually sure that I need it. There's nothing I really want to take out, so we'll play with 2 salvages for the time being. And I think I'm gonna play. We're gonna play Vilemoth's Lair. I still haven't decided between these two which one I like for games 2 and game 3. Let's go ahead and rip the mulligan. Watcher, I'd like to see later. Stupefy, I don't mind because I can Legion it. And LeBlanc is pretty solid, so. Alright, he's going to go first. LeBlanc may be my turn 1 play. Turn 1 going second. And I really hope I see seals, because this deck can feel really expensive and hard to kind of scale if you don't see the seals, but we'll see. Indeed. Indeed, I am ready. Alright, getting into game number 2 against the Fiora. Alright, nothing played from him is good, because that means I have kind of the onboard tempo. I would have loved a Faithful Manufactor there so I could get a draw off Seat of Power. Oh, that's okay. Now we do have the LeBlanc. She's a good draw card. I mean, obviously she's a great attacker, so I may just go in with her. And funny enough, like, playing a recruit there would have been fine too. Sabotage. She's probably going to get rid of my Hidden Blade if I had to guess. I hope he doesn't get rid of the Stupefy. He might get rid of the Stupefy, but then I could just Hidden Blade. So who knows? We'll see what he gets rid of. Yeah, Hidden Blade to deck bottom. Okay. Fair enough. Now, with LeBlanc being Death Knell, I don't like seeing multiple of these this early. With LeBlanc being Death Knell, okay, hold on. Let's think through this play. We're gonna make a recruit, then we're gonna play Zinjaud readied, and that gives me the opportunity to go here and score, and here and score with Seat of Power, giving me a draw. And that's really good. I like seeing the seal because look at this. I have 2 pairs of Legion options post 6 mana. 6 energy. Now he probably will climb over this and that's okay. I'm not really going wide right now. I'm like mostly playing like the tall side of my deck. That's okay because I do have a little bit of speed. And LeBlanc being Death Knell, putting her on Vilemoths, I don't mind because she's going to give me a card draw. Like minimum she gives me a card draw. She's not going anywhere, so that's fine with me. All right, plays Unsung Hero. I'm assuming he doesn't have a way to get the Lucian up to Mighty. Never mind. Never mind. All right. That's funny. I wasn't expecting the punch first. Okay. He does Conquer and ready the Lucian, if he remembers to do so. And assuming he'll pull that back. I mean, maybe not, because otherwise I just get a free point off the recruit. He might leave it there and then try to make the oh, challenge. Yeah, okay, he's gonna challenge my LeBlanc. Okay, very good, very good. All right, we are going to, man, I don't have any speed here really, but that's okay. And funny enough, I don't even know if I want this point. I mean, it's fine. I might as well take it. Kind of baits him into the Vilemoths. Now we definitely go here. The Faithful Manufactor, and I probably just make another token. So we have some form of a base setup, and then next turn we can actually Legion out the yellow Darius to try to bring a little bit more speed. Also, like, you know, I'm going to get the Unsung Hero or the Lucian kind of trapped in Vilemoth's jail, so we'll see. It's pretty solid. Decent position to have him in. Also, friends, check out the link in the description. Use code C2R10 for 10% off TOPCUT GEAR sleeves if you're in the United States or Canada. They are the best sleeves on the market. I promise you, 150 sleeves for $12. You can't beat it anywhere. All right, Unsung Hero coming in. Mighty, gonna do the Fiora thing. And I imagine he's just gonna send her on the Vile because he doesn't care. Yeah, he doesn't care if she dies either. That's kind of the beauty of the Death Knells. He does not care. Yeah, very good. Now the question is, does he bounce the Lucian back? He probably does. And I think that oh my goodness, all three of the, that's crazy. Okay, we're gonna float this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the Legion proc. So he comes in readied. And we're gonna send yellow Darius here. So 6 to 5. I have more in my hand, so I don't mind, and I really want to hold the Stupefy. Yes. Oh, sorry, he's asking for Prio. Let's see what he's got. Okay, so we go there. We're gonna go for Seat of Power, which I should have, and then we'll draw off Seat of Power, and then we will make us another recruit. And that's pretty elegant. That's pretty elegant there. I don't really care if the Darius dies because I have another one in hand. And you can kind of see where the yellow Darius comes into play because I don't reliably feel like I can particularly beat this deck with some of those bigger spells because of Riposte. Against some purple and green decks, whenever I feel like they, have the counter spells that could be a little dangerous to play into, the yellow Darius will come into effect as well. It's just a big body. It's a big body that plays into the deck pretty well. It's not particularly super huge or anything, but he does give some problems. Yeah. Other friendly units are +1. They usually, it makes them have to step in a way that targets the yellow Darius, which can sometimes be a problem when you have like the Xin Zhao out. So sometimes you're playing like yellow Darius, Spectral Matron, and Xin Zhao. Sometimes you're just trying to put them together just because. So something to think about because of the tank on Xin Zhao. So. All right, he's going to step in and take over Seat of Power. And this is not terribly easy for him to deal with. Okay, Thralling Protector. And make himself mighty. First mate readies it, and then punch first. No, just 6 to 6. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right, it's fine with me. What I'm probably gonna do is take a base establishing turn, go up to 6 with a recruit, and then take a turn to establish base, and then I will play like a fast Darius next turn, most likely, because I'm not going to try to climb over this now because I can't win the game, and that's totally fine. So we'll go here. That's going to put me at 6. Now I think I'll go on ahead and kind of aim for a rally the troops play. All right, play out a seal, and let's see, I guess we'll just play like LeBlanc into a recruit. I don't really have much more to play. If I would have hit like a Vanguard captain there, that would have been nice. All right, we're gonna pass it there. Reorganize these seals because it bothers me if I don't. And then now we have Legion on the Darius guaranteed pretty much. And since I'm at 6 points, he's going to have to try to hold Seat of Power. He doesn't have much of a choice. But on an aggressive push, Legion, like getting the effect Other friendly units have +1 is going to be nice. And then the Legion effect, of course, is that he gets to ready off of Legion. So I just got to play another card, which we will do so because we have the Stupefy in hand. Another reason why keeping Stupefy in the deck is like pretty good. Don't really want to cut down on Stupefy any more than just a 2 of. All right. He's going to ready her. Ah, see, he paid kind of improperly. I mean, he could float one. Yeah, there we go. I'll play something else. What's he paying for? Oh, that's for the sword. Okay. He's going to ready that and then step in. Yep, he's got that. And then I think I've just got it. That's 5 might. This is 6 might. She's going to be 4/5 on her own. So we'll step 4, 5, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So it's... She dies, I'm assuming, and I draw a card, and then we go there. And then we've got... It was, yeah, I didn't think he caught that. He has a salt and a buff. So then we're gonna go Stupefy here. All right, we're gonna draw and we're gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Legion effect, boom, 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 and that should be game. GG's. Friends, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching the kind of Viktor list going into set 3. Very aggressive kind of list, but has some control-y pieces to it. Not the most aggressive aggro deck in the game by any means, but a very solid list for Viktor. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video and subscribe for future Riftbound content. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.